What's up guys, Justin here with the RenderingEssentials.com, back with another Twinmotion tutorial for you. We're going to talk about how to use the movement animation functions to animate cars moving up and down a road and people walking along a path. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. Alright, so this is a model that we created yesterday. It's part of downtown Denver, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to take these roads, which I've placed decals on in order to make all the striping and everything like that, and I'd like to go ahead and add some cars moving along that road, maybe some people walking along the sidewalk over here. So to start off, the way that you're going to do that is you're going to find that inside of the urban settings under paths. And so what that's going to do is that's going to allow you to select different kinds of paths that you can add inside of your renderings. So in this case, what I want to do is I want to start with a vehicle path. And so what that's going to allow us to do is that's going to allow us to animate cars moving along a path. And so what we're going to do is we're going to click on the button for vehicle path, and we're going to click on this button right here for vehicle path. And what that's going to do is that's going to give us this dot right here, and that's going to allow us to set the path that this is going to animate along. So you can see how I can click multiple different times in order to select it. But you can see how I can set this as a curving path just by clicking on this road. So I can set this path just like this. And so once I've set that, I'm going to hit the escape key to get out of that tool. And so when we do that, you can see how now this is automatically adding vehicles moving along this path. So you can see how this is actually animating these in little clusters and singularly. It's kind of randomly placing these cars along this path. And so if we look at this, you can see how there's a few different things that we can adjust. So we'll talk about lane counts and 2 lanes in a second, as well as the lane offset. But first, let's take a look at the density and speed settings. So the speed setting is going to let us adjust how fast the cars are going to travel along this road. So you can set this to whatever speed limit you think is appropriate in this situation. So in this case, I could set this to like 34 miles an hour or something like that. And then density is going to control how many cars are in here. So you can see if I turn my density up to 100%, there's just going to be constant cars all the way along this road. If I turn this back down to like 50%, it's going to randomize this some more. And then if I drag this all the way down to like 10%, it's going to really kind of randomize, but not give me a lot of cars. It'll just give me a little bit of traffic on this road. So the reverse function allows you to set which direction those cars are going. So if I wanted them to go the other way, so if you were in Europe or something like that, you can click the reverse function in order to have the cars travel in this direction. The traffic rule is going to come into play when we have multiple lanes, and honestly I'm not 100% sure how that one works. But let's go ahead and look at our traffic lane options. So the way that we're going to do this is, let's say that we wanted to have cars in all of these different lanes. Well, what you can do is you can drag this up and you can add lanes inside of this inside of your rendering. So you can see how I can add this and you'll get multiple different lanes of traffic in here. So you can add up to 5 lanes, I believe, of traffic. I haven't tried going any higher than that. It looks like 5 is probably the maximum that you can do. Well, in this case, what we want to do is we want to have 2 lanes. You can see how part of our problem here, though, is that these lanes aren't really splitting the difference between, or these lanes aren't really spaced properly over this line. So what we can do is we can just come in here and we can just drag these little dots in here to adjust the path that these cars are going to drive along. So you can set this so this more splits that difference in here, so the cars are kind of traveling in the proper location. You can see how even there they're kind of tight on this line. So what you can do is you can adjust your lane offset, and you can see how when you adjust your lane offset, this path gets wider, and so it'll move your cars further away from this center point. So if you want your cars to be way out, you could drag it all the way up to 10. I'd say 7 probably looks about right. And so what we would do is we would just adjust this so that all of these dots are centered along this lane. And so now from here you have a couple different options for the way you could generate the traffic going the other direction. So you could come in here and you could add another vehicle path over in the other line. We don't necessarily want to do that. What we want to do instead is we want to click on the button for 2 lanes. And you can see how when I add the button for 2 lanes, or when I click the button for 2 lanes, this is now giving me 2 lanes of traffic in each direction. So you can see how I could widen this even more and we could have 3 or 4 or 5. But now this has traffic running in both directions. And so all we would do is we would just adjust this path so that it's centered along this point. And we would have to make that same adjustment for all these points over here. Kind of like this, but now generally speaking, we've got our traffic kind of set up so that it's following the path that it should be following. So, and the same thing applies for your lane offset. Can be adjusted in order to widen this. So depending on what your road looks like, sometimes it's going to make more sense to just create one path with the 2 lanes. Sometimes it's going to make more sense to create one path moving this way and one path moving this way. And so now we have kind of a general idea of how we can add vehicle paths in here. And notice that what these are going to do is these are just going to travel until they hit the end of the traffic path, and then they're just going to disappear. And then on the other side, new cars are starting at the beginning of that path. But that should give you a pretty good idea of the way that works. Now let's take a look at adding a character path. So what a character path is going to do is it's going to work kind of the same way. You're going to set a path like this, and then you're just going to hit the escape key to get out of that, and that's just going to add people traveling along this path. So, and for some reason they are walking in the middle of my road, which is not what I want. So let's adjust that. And one thing to point out is there's these little plus buttons in here. So if you want to add a point, you can just click on that plus button in order to add a point in here. So you can see I can move this over in order to kind of fine adjust this. So it's really easy to add extra points in here. And so what this is doing is it's doing the same thing that the traffic is doing, where it's adding people kind of randomly in here. And you can adjust the density up kind of like you did before. So if you had people like waiting in a line, you could set this to 100%, or you could bring this down to get a little more randomness in the people walking through here. And you can adjust the kinds of clothing that these people are wearing. So you can adjust this to office or travel or street, kind of whatever you want in order to kind of adjust this. And you can also adjust different types of people over here in the type button. Which is good, especially if you're doing different geographical areas and you want to kind of customize to that. The width function is going to work the same way, where you can see how if you kind of make this wider, you're getting more lanes of people in here. So you can have multiple different lanes of people, or you can have them on a much more narrow path, kind of like this. Reverse is just going to change their direction, and then if you don't want them to move, so if they're standing in a line, you can turn walk on and off in order to adjust if they're going to be moving or not. And then bicycle path is going to be kind of the same way. So let's say you had a bike lane along here. You could set this so that you have bicycles traveling along this path as well. And you can adjust the speed of those bicycles, as well as the density and the other things, just like the things that we've talked about before. So custom path, I'm not going to get too far into in this video. You can use that to animate custom objects moving around. So if you guys are interested in more of a video on that, leave a comment below and let me know. But this should give you a pretty good idea of how you can add all of these people and bikes and everything else inside of your rendering. And so one other thing to note is if you were to render a video from right here, this would animate these vehicles moving along here. So if you were to export this video, you would get a video with all of these cars moving along there. And then when you create an image, whenever you add this image or whenever you click this refresh button is what it's going to set this view to. So it's going to save whatever the view is when you create that image or when you update that image inside of Twinmotion. So like for example, if I wanted more cars in here, I would click the refresh button right there, and you can see how that image is going to give me that car inside of that image. So it's whatever point you create that or whatever point you update that view is what that state is going to be inside of the still image that you export. So that's where I'm going to end this video. Leave a comment below and let me know what you thought. Was this helpful to you? Did you know about this function? I just love having that conversation with you guys. If you liked this video, please remember to click that like button down below. If you're new around here, remember to click that subscribe button for new rendering content every week. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.